Hi everyone who's following me or not following me or just watching this video for some random strange reason. Um, yeah, hi. I'm back in Sweden again after a little journey. We took me and my wife to UK. Um, since we have a shitload of vacation in Sweden, actually 7 weeks paid vacation where I work and my wife have just about the same. We had some leftover vacation since the summer, so we decided to go to the UK and get deaf in the subway and on concerts. Um, yeah, so let me just this a bit. Okay, I got a new stand for the camera, so now it's better. Anyway, we went to we took out 3 weeks vacation and we went to the UK for 10 days, I think we were there. In London, we started in London, took a train to Wolverhampton, and from there we went to Leicester and back to London again for some shows with a certain band. They had the 40th anniversary shows for the first record. So we went there and we had a blast getting deaf at the concerts and in the London Underground. Um, yeah, I'll talk more about that in a later video since I did a lot of uh, photography during the last concert we went to. So I'll talk about that in a separate video. Actually, I think it will be the video released after this one. Yeah, and the video after that will be something totally different with some flying machines and stuff. Yeah, so what else did we do in England? We did a lot of photography, of course, a lot of street photography in London, since London is a bit bigger city than where we live in Luleå in Sweden. Compared to London, this is a small village. We have only about 80,000 people living in Luleå. And when we went to Camden, that actually felt like the entire Luleå was cramped up on one street. So not the best place to go if you're an introvert or sometimes have problem with large masses of people. But we managed, we survived, and I'm back in my couch again. So what else? Photography. Yeah, we celebrated birthdays, so we went to musicals. If you haven't seen Back to the Future, the musical, go see it. It's worth it. It was bloody amazing. Um, and we went to the BFI IMAX. And if you haven't seen a movie at the BFI IMAX, you must go. Unfortunately, we watched Killers of the Flower Moon, and that movie was just about the worst movie I've ever seen. It was so boring. It was nicely shot. It was great actors. I mean, Robert De Niro, Leonardo DiCaprio, Brendan Fraser, John Lithgow. I mean, you can't go wrong with that cast. But unfortunately, the movie was so dragged out. But it was an experience. I mean, it's one of the largest screens in Europe, and compared to what we have here, Our cinema now looks like a small TV. Just adjust it. So better. Anyway, and besides that, we did some shopping at HMV and FOP, since we don't have stores that sells movies in Sweden anymore. We have to order it either on Amazon or the two companies that are still left that sell movies and music. So we did some shopping at HMV and FOP. And FOP in London, it's the second time I'm there, and it's an amazing movie store or music store. The staff is really nice. I had a long chat with one of the staff members about Clerks. I asked if Clerks 2 was released on Blu-ray, and it wasn't. So we both kind of find out that the first Clerks is one of our both favorite movies. Anyway, besides that, we just had some quality time, relaxed, ordered room service, ate a shitload of fish and chips, and I absolutely drenched the chips in vinegar and salt. So I actually felt like I was half British. No full British breakfasts this time. Last time I ate two and I was full for a week. Anyway, yeah, and of course we met some wonderful people in Britain, since the English people must be the most kind-hearted, polite, welcoming people on the planet. Everyone we talked to was super nice, super helpful, and it's not impossible that we move to England when we retire, or if I get a career in writing, which I hope I do. Just a side note, next weekend I am going to send out my first novel to a bunch of publishers, and hopefully it will get released somehow, somewhere. It would be so cool to have a horror novel released, and right now I'm writing on my second novel, but more of that in a later video. Yeah, London was super nice. The weather was absolutely fine. We dodged all the rains, except for the day we went to the cinema. Then it just absolutely poured down. But that was also the only day that we didn't go out and do some photography or walking around in London. So it was perfect. And the hotel in London was awesome. I can put a link in the description, since I don't remember the name of the hotel up front, but it was in Waterloo, just I can't remember the name of the underground station as well. Anyway, I put a link to the hotel in the bottom. The hotel in London was absolutely awesome. I can't say that about the hotels in Wolverhampton or Leicester, since when we were in Leicester, when we got off the train, it was cold as hell, and we just almost ran to the hotel to get into a warm hotel room that was so cold that it was almost warmer outside. And in Wolverhampton, it felt like the hotel was built in the 70s. They might have changed the carpets and curtains in the 80s and the furniture in the 90s, and sanitized the hotel for smoke from the smell of cigarette smoke in the last couple of years, it was the most smelly hotel I've ever been to. Anyway, something about the photos I took. I love to take sort of artsy photographs in the streets, sometimes a bit abstract photos of urban landscapes, where I kind of have the mentality of a nature photographer, but I use the buildings as my forests and mountains, and the people as animals. Not to call people animals. Some are, most of us are not. So that was a hell of a lot of fun. And I also discovered that my happy accidents that I used to get when I started out in photography and restarted in photography, they are not happy accidents anymore. I'm getting a lot more confidence in my photography, and I shot some absolutely gorgeous photographs, and I realized that I am a good photographer. I'm actually a great photographer, if I dare to say. But of course, in some Swedish, I should say something like, I don't know if I can take photographs. I don't know. Other people's pictures are better. No, definitely not. I am a great photographer, and I took great photographs. Both in London, Leicester, Wolverhampton, and the concerts we went to. Yeah, that about that. They have a strange rule in the UK. You can't photograph private property, but they never set up any signs that the property you're photographing is a private property. And I stepped on that minefield with both my feet. And a security guard came out of a hotel and said I wasn't allowed to photograph there. And he was asking what I was photographing. And he was so polite. And he just, yeah, we had a chat about photography. He was super nice. He wanted to look at the pictures. Told me what I had to delete, what I could keep. And yeah, if you're in the UK and or another some other places around the world, and you get into the same thing I went into, where they ask you to delete photographs, I mean, just do it. It's not worth fighting with a security guard over a few silly images. There's plenty other things to photograph. So yeah, with that said, let's look at the photographs. And when you're done doing that, you can either click on subscribe or the little bell everyone is nagging about, or just don't do it if you don't like the video. If you like the photographs, comment. If you have any tips, tricks, anything I can improve, I'm open for suggestions. Put them in the link in the comment field below. And just go on about your day. Have a nice day. Have a fantastic weekend. Have an amazing life. And I'll see you in the next video. Or actually, you'll see me in the next video. So, next time, something else about the band from Sweden and some concert photography. Bye!